CompTIA A Core 2, Complete Training Course. Exam Objective 1.9 Identify common features and tools of the Linux Client Desktop Operating System. Linux OS Components. As we wrap up our look at Linux, let's take a moment to understand a few core components that work behind the scenes to keep the operating system running. These components include the bootloader, the kernel, and systemd, and each one plays a critical role in how a Linux system starts and operates. Rather than thinking of these as isolated pieces, it helps to view them as part of a sequence that takes place every time a system is powered on. From the moment you press the power button to the point where you can log in and begin using applications, these components work together to bring the system to life. To see how the sequence unfolds, let's start at the very beginning with the bootloader, the component responsible for getting everything in motion. The bootloader is a program that runs when a computer is powered on and is responsible for loading the operating system into memory. It acts as the first step in the boot process, taking control after the system firmware completes its initial checks. The bootloader's primary job is to locate the operating system, load the Linux kernel into memory, and then transfer control so the system can continue the startup process. In many Linux systems, the bootloader also provides a menu that allows users to select between different operating systems or different versions of the kernel. Although it typically runs behind the scenes and is not something users interact with regularly, the bootloader plays a critical role in system startup. Without it functioning properly, the operating system would not be able to load, preventing the system from starting. To see how the bootloader works in practice, we can take a look at a configuration file used by a common Linux bootloader called grub. In this example, the file lists different boot options, known as menu entries, that are available when the system starts. Each menu entry represents a way the system can boot, such as using the default kernel or selecting an older version. Once the bootloader loads the operating system into memory, it hands control over to the kernel. The kernel is the core of the operating system. It is responsible for managing communication between software and hardware, allowing applications to interact with system resources such as the CPU, memory, storage, and input and output devices. Suffice it to say, the kernel is constantly working in the background. Every time you open a file, connect to a network, or use a device like a keyboard or USB drive, the request is handled through the kernel. The kernel is also responsible for managing system resources efficiently, ensuring that multiple applications can run at the same time without conflicts. It controls how memory is allocated, how processes are scheduled, and how hardware is accessed. Although users typically do not interact with the kernel directly, it plays a critical role in system stability. If the kernel encounters issues, it can impact the entire system, which is why it is considered the foundation of the operating system. To view information about the kernel, you can use commands like uname. In this example, the -r option displays the current kernel version running on the system. You may also see the -a option used, which provides more detailed information, including the system name, kernel version, and architecture. While you are not expected to memorize these commands, it is helpful to recognize that tools like this can be used to quickly identify the kernel version and system details when troubleshooting. After the kernel has initialized the system, the next component to take over is systemd. Systemd is a system and service manager that initializes the system after the kernel loads and manages system processes and services. It acts as the first process in user space and is responsible for starting everything the system needs to function. Once the kernel has finished its initial work, systemd begins starting essential services such as networking, logging, and user sessions. It ensures that services start in the correct order, especially when certain services depend on others. For example, a network service must be running before a web service can function properly. In addition to starting services, systemd also monitors them. If a service stops unexpectedly, systemd can restart it, helping maintain system stability. Administrators can also use systemd to manually start, stop, or check the status of services when troubleshooting issues. To interact with systemd, you can use the systemctl command. In this example, the status option is used to check the current state of the SSH service. The output shows whether the service is loaded and whether it is currently running. This type of information is useful when troubleshooting services or verifying that critical system components are functioning as expected. Together, these components work in sequence to bring a Linux system to life. The bootloader starts the process by loading the kernel. The kernel manages communication between hardware and software, and systemd initializes and manages the services that keep the system running. Now, for the CompTIA A Core 2 exam, you are not expected to be a Linux master. Instead, focus on understanding the purpose of these core components and how they work together to support the overall operation of the system. The same goes for all the Linux topics included in Exam Objective 1.9. Just keep things simple, focus on the basics, and you will do just fine come exam day. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more great content.